Hello, and welcome to a video to say thank you for your support for our trip to Liberia, and actually for all the activities we're doing in Liberia. This was our 15th visit, and here are some children saying hello. This is from James's school. So we went across again with 75 or so kilos of stuff. Um, well, one good thing about the video is that you can pause it and read. I'm just going to whiz through these things. Up here, we see one of Robert's classrooms. He has done really well this year, but he needed it to be um, painted, the floors to be painted to cover up all the dust. So the money you gave me, I gave to him to do that for 6 of his classrooms. We had a good number of laptops to take over, including one of these very nice cube computers. Some of them went to George's school, so that he could set up a computer class. James needed a new printer for his school. Robert has got some goodies for the children that he came to pick up and take back to them. James here has got some new phones that were donated from the UK. Joseph got a microscope for his science lab. We also gave a donation to Chocolate City Women's Group. They do good work with the women in that community, helping them when they struggle. But they also have helped more broadly, for instance, with increasing the height of the path. These sort of paths, it's not this one, but there was a main thoroughfare that got sunk when the rain came and became quite dangerous. So they raised the path up for them. These are the people that we've been working with for many years. They're all faithful men and women, and we have been able to trust them over all of the years, and it's been a privilege to work with them. We've got 7 schools that are doing well, mostly growing. Here you can see where they are. Here is who is looking after them, and here are the number of children this year who are attending. So across all the schools there are about 1,400 children, and most of those wouldn't be in education if we didn't have these low fee paying schools around. So they are really greatly appreciated and valued by the parents. We have got 4 of them are self-supporting pretty much. I mean, they always struggle, but you know, broadly speaking, the school fees pay for what's needed. Some we hope will be self-supporting come the end of this year. The Chocolate City one, it's hard for them. They are in such a poor community. It's probably never going to be self-supporting, but they are trying hard to be so, nevertheless. 2 of the schools are doing vocational training in the afternoons for the community, not just the kids, but for adults as well. So that's Robert, wherever he is, up in Lower Carrisburg, and Joseph in Johnsonville. So that they do things like this: sewing, brickwork, plumbing. I'll leave this for you to pause if you want to in the video. I try to give an idea of what it feels like to be living in Liberia. So this is where we went this year. Steve and Chris went a week before me, and they went up to Lofa, or the village of Ganglata, where we've spent a lot of years. Then over to Bong Mines, which is looked after by James, coming back through German camp, and then they ended up with Roberts, which is where I joined them. And then we spent the last week in these areas. The usual 15 to 20 miles an hour average, just because of potholes and, well, potholes. You know, you can have a nice stretch of tarmac for a couple of 100 yards or so, perhaps even more, and then there's a dirty, great big pothole. So you can't pick up speed very well. So we really did go. This was a PTA meeting that we went to, and it was a surprise to everybody. But the PTA had organised us to be given some new clothing, proper Liberian clothing, with my first African hat. This is another celebration that we attended at George's school. This is David. He's been helped to pass a BSc in agriculture by one of our friends in the UK. So he's now actively looking for a job on a farm. And this is one of our longer term friends, Thomas. He's a blind man, and we went to see him. This is when we were staying in Joseph's community. It's too hot. It was hot. Although mostly humid was the real issue. So James and Martha, they have two schools. One of them is in Napakoli town, or Napalokoli town. This was very well received when James went there initially. The community took ownership. Since then, though, it seems to be struggling. The numbers have dropped. A number of children in the school have dropped from 60 to 30 because James is pushing for this school to be self-sustaining, and it has been shown. We've seen it to be a bit of, it's not a fight, but it takes a while for the parents to properly value what they have here. So James is holding out because what he sees is that these extra 30 kids that are not in the school anymore, their parents just simply send them to the farms. So we and they are praying that the parents would see sense and come and pay the small fee. It really is relative, even for them, it's a small fee, and bring their children back to the school. So hopefully this school will be self-sustaining at some point. Joseph also has another school at German Camp Junction. This is it, a rainy day. 350 children attending this school. It's doing really well. Part of the money that you gave me went to an advanced baking training for Marie, who is Robert's wife. She's been doing really well. This is her oven up here. This is Joseph's oven, because he does the same thing at his school. The idea for Marie, at least, is for her to start a new business. So it's something else that we're trying to do, where we see someone that's pushing forward and with some initiative, we would try to encourage them, support them in whatever training they need, so that they can then start to make money for themselves. This again, we're still at Robert's place now. This is a farm, mostly sweet corn. He's looking after it for 3 landowners who who are not living there at the moment. So he's got quite a lot of land there with sweet corn, aubergine, potato greens, and he's got a guy we can see here who's farming it for him. And they split the profit equally. Robert's School has been going for many years and has been extended for many years. As I said, the latest extension is to the right of this picture, and they want, or they need to make this into a playground and put up some walls around it, because the parents are concerned that, or in terms of the walls, the parents are concerned that the children are escaping. So it's that's a challenge for him, because that's a lot of wall to put up. That's just a small part of it. Another part is down here in between some other buildings, and literally the older children were breaking out no matter what they did with the bamboo and some various other things they tried. The kids would just find a way out. So here we've seen the new floors. Thank you very much. We have the building that Robert finished probably in 2023 or earlier actually. This is the new building that he finished in 2024, and is now housing grade 10 to 12, which means he can also go up to 16-year-olds like Joseph and James can as well. The maintenance is always a problem, as I've said. So if we look at this one, you can see it was a really light wind that day, hardly noticeable, but the galvanized zinc is very thin. Very thin. There's some children just they were having fun. It's not often they get the generator out and have loud music blaring out. This was a special day. School had finished, but they had some other. It wasn't actually a test. Well, it was a test, but it was a special day they had, and it was the school make it great fun. Basically, that's what I'm trying to say. Here's some other children just playing outside Robert's house. We went over to see Jonathan and Lydia at Palm Spring. They're just round the corner from Robert. So Jonathan and Lydia are looking after 5 orphaned children, abandoned in different ways by their parents, not uncommon still. And here they all are. This, again, I'll skip over. You can read it if you pause the video now. It gives you a bit more detail about their backgrounds. They all had, 5 of them at least, had pretty bad start in life. Lethan is one of them, being supported by some friends in the UK. She's recently, well, last couple of years, something's happened to her hand, and it naturally now is just crooked. It gives her some pain. But no one knows what it is. And it's another example of the problems that our friends have, because there really isn't any recourse to medical help, even if you could afford it. Jonathan is, well, Jonathan and his church are starting to build a new school. This is the start of it. It will have been cemented and plastered by now, actually. Here is the main room. They're going to split it in the middle, and they're going to have 2 classrooms here for kindergarten, nursery. Out the back is a small space, another classroom effectively, and further back the toilets. This is also going to be called New Nations School, as was the first one. For some of you that have been around for a while listening to this stuff, Jonathan had a school which was this in Fendel, and then the government decided to bulldoze this and hundreds of acres down. It was terrible. This is the some land that Jonathan has, which is to the right of this building down here. It's swampland, so not so useful in one sense, but he does plan to extend the school into it as time goes on. And here's a picture of his church. Then we went to James's school, and you're about to see, well, here's the cafe, and it's lunchtime. So a slap on the palm is obviously the way that gets them to remember this stuff. And then we have these are the older school buildings, or the original school buildings. That then came in 2023, the lower, and 2024, the upper was finished. So James now has 400 children in his school, and they're doing really well. Again, we are looking at their lunchtime. There's a lot of sharing goes on. It was very loud there. The cafeteria here was new in 2025, and they sell some stuff for the children for lunchtime and other snacks. This is the nursery. There are about 100 young people in this one, and a room to the side. So they are looked after from 8 till 4, as you might expect. But that's quite a hard job, to my mind. Up here, you can see some children on the balcony. That's because on a hot day, it gets pretty hot in the classrooms, and so they take turns sitting out on the veranda whilst the lessons are going on. We've seen that one. So you've got about 40 children in this happy classroom down here, and a tired young man over here. One of the main focuses for us was to train them in each of the areas that we've been working in, mostly in telling people what Jesus means to them. Generally, I'm not going to say anything more about that. I'll do another movie to explain that further for those that are interested. But this is what we were doing basically. We got them, we demonstrated ourselves, and then we got them to to do the same, and you won't understand this because this is in their local dialect, Bassa, I believe, over in Bong Mines community. We had a great time doing this with the community. They were they so embraced it, and were so encouraged by it. It was really good fun. This wasn't fun at all. A fire. So this was about 100 yards from where we were staying in James's place, and this is what it looked like the next morning. The roof is gone because something, around 2 or 3 in the morning, local people came and took the metal away because it's worth money. You'll also see that a lot of the brickwork has been, cement has been broken because there's reinforcement in it. Again, they took the metal away. There was an older lady that was living on her own here. She was fine. She lit a candle, gone to the bathroom, and it set fire, but she got out fine. But she's lost everything, and there is no insurance. Sometimes the government will investigate and offer, a couple of $100, but it won't help you at all. We made a lot of new friends. Here's Massa. She works in James's nursery with those 100 children I showed you just now. She lives with Limel, who teaches English in James's school. She earns $50 a month for quite a hard job. Marthaline, this is one of James's daughters. She's a lovely lady. She had a 16-year-old son called Austin, but he was poisoned by someone at a party that he went to. Apparently he ate something that was prepared for someone else. Awful. But no action could be taken because there's very little police capacity for investigation. And there's such a lot of transitory movement as well, people coming in and out of communities all the time. And it's something that struck me this year more than hitherto, certainly. The lack of systems between institutions means that it's possible to live life and to do bad things with impunity, nearly. It's really not good. So we've been praying for Marthaline. She's still trying to process the loss of her son. Then we went off to Mount Barclay to see Jonathan. Sorry, and then this is a video showing how we left through invisible roads that weren't marked or anything like that. It's just, you feel like you're driving through people's backyards and back gardens. driving is quite interesting at times. So that was leaving, and then we turned into Jonathan's Road, and here's a few shops. It's brilliant. There's noise everywhere. There's some annoying noise, which you could have heard a little bit. They have these recorded adverts trying to market, various shops all around, so they can be irritating. But there's music coming out of everyone and people talking. It's and then I also noticed you stick your head out the window, it smells. So as you go through villages or something like that, you've got the smells of people cooking and various other things. And mostly it's nice. Here's George's school, Gateway Christian Academy. This is one of the first that we were involved with building. That's got 120 children this year, and it's doing well. This is the school that is part of the swamp community, who are properly poor. My new friend, the plasterer. Magnificent hat. And it was 35 degrees that day. It was so hot.
Morning, Mama. Yeah. And yes, Karen is standing in the structure. I'm brushing your teeth. The water was already in the house. But little by little, it's leaving the house. But now, again, this evening, we expect that the water will enter the house. But now you see Clarence is standing in the water brushing his teeth. Now it's early in the morning. Now, you see? You there already? No, you see.
So this is the community, the swamp community around George's school. That was Clarence that you saw there. Abraham, another good friend of ours, one of the leaders in the community. His good friend is Clarence, whose house we were looking at there. They spend, as I say, 2 to 3 months of the year with water in their house. The whole swamp area gets covered, and then as the tide goes up and down, it comes in, or as the rains come down as well, the water comes in, as you can see over here. So this is actually inside their house, so water up to his knees. Can you imagine getting out of bed straight into that? And that is definitely not clean water. But then in the same community, I was sitting outside one morning, and a guy came past. We greeted each other, and he called out, "Morning all, thank God for life." It's amazing attitude to all of this. It's tiring, the heat. So I've caught them sleeping at all sorts of different times. So this is 8 o'clock in the morning, in the afternoon, and then 10 o'clock. Vicky just couldn't quite make it to her bed. Over at Joseph's community in Johnsonville, he, without realizing it, 2 of his school administrators had been stealing money. He's lost about $8,000 US. This was towards the end of last year. It was a huge shock for him. Caused him a lot of trouble. He'll never get the money back. But they've made changes. They've got well, actually, they had a good system already. It was just being abused. So they've just enforced the system a little bit better. But Joseph School is still a grade A in his education district, 4th in the area for quality, and also is providing this low-cost education for, what was it, 180 children, I think, this year for him. So he continues to upgrade it. So you can't see it at the moment. You'll see it in the next slide. He put on the first floor up here, and is now putting tiling on it. And what you can do there is to buy broken tiles, because it's a lot cheaper. And then eventually, or his next big project is to cement, I guess, the whole of this area and make it into a basketball court for the children for exercise, etc. So here's a better picture of the new first floor that Joseph's put up. He's a civil engineer by trade, so he's got his own team that did that. That means now that he can go up to grades 12, or age 16. This is a new hand pump that we gave them with some money from the UK from last year. So it's all finished and working nicely, and they're really enjoying it.
Okay, it's okay. Even you hear what the water? Huh?
Right by that well, there is a coconut tree, and they went and got some for us. So here's Joseph hacking one to pieces and giving it to us.
Yeah, crank the top off. Very nicely done.
Brilliant, and that was really nice. And to get those coconuts, a young lad went up the tree.
How you can feel each tree. Coconut tree.
Expertly done, and a long way up too. So there's some children playing. This is one of the children from James's school, happily playing with some sand and a cardboard box. This is outside Joseph's place. Probably Joseph made those swords for them. Excellent. Joseph's computer lab. All of the computers had broken before. Dust doesn't help at all. But they've tried very hard to, swapping bits and pieces out over a number of years, because these were quite old computers. So we gave him a couple of new ones, including this little cube computer. So that's been going well. The library, as it says here, used to be in this room as well, but they needed to keep the books a little bit more secure, so that went up to the principal's office in the first floor that I just showed you. They were doing tests, so they were splitting the children up, and so they had to go into the walkways as well here, as you'll see.
Tablet, DWA, non-absorbent. A collection of overall health is known as A health. B committed. C. Let's see, get it? Let's see.
Children followed us all over the place. These two, astonishing. This was middle of the day, I think. She literally was asleep. It's astonishing what children can do. As was she. Sweeties. So this is us on our way home now. This is quite an interesting drive. The road was being dug up. It is supposed to be a two-way. It's a wide two-way road, but you're going to see 4 rows of cars with some motorbikes coming the opposite way in the gutter here, and various other behaviours. So our guys are good and very responsible and looked after us well, but it was probably only 2 weeks after we left when another good friend of ours called Momo, his daughter was hit by a truck and killed outright. Yeah, it's just awful. There are a lot of casualties on their roads. A lot of them are related to motorbikes, and they are, they're trying to fix things and put some laws in place, but nevertheless, it's not great. As you go past shops, not so much in Monrovia Central at least, but you see shop names like God Bless Me Pharmacy and a block making company called God is Good, and I think a petrol station filling shop, Eye to Eye, My God Knows filling shop. There's some brilliant names we've seen. What do they need? As most of you know, scholarships is one of the big things. So for schools like George's, which really struggle to be self-sustaining, and perhaps for Napol or Collie as well, that may turn out to be too poor an area. So anyway, we have always a need for more scholarships to help basically pay the teachers. There's so for George, Robert, Joseph and James, there's although they are heading towards self-support, it's always a struggle for them. So whenever we can help them with teacher salary or help them with maintenance on the infrastructure, like painting and fixing chairs and desks and roof repairs, they've also always been pushed by the government and by parents to enhance the equipment so computers and science equipment and books. So it's an ongoing challenge for them there. The vocational schools as well. Sewing machines are needed. Robert had two stolen from him a couple of years ago. He's got one back so far. I mean, he's bought another new one, but he's one down on a sewing machine, and there's various other bits of equipment that both Robert and Joseph need. Jonathan and Lydia, we don't have a particular fund for them, but we take money that's given and put it in the charity bank, and we give it to Jonathan twice a year to help. But that's an ongoing problem or challenge for him because the kids are getting older. So there's all manner of costs that keep coming at them. Building wells, if any of you, it's very satisfying for around 1,500 quid or so, depending on how deep you need to go. Building a well makes such a difference to a community, and there are many communities that are needing them. We put in a well last year in Chocolate City, and it's been because they didn't have drinking water within a quarter of a mile, especially in the hot season. So that well has become so popular that it's too popular. So they actually need another well there, it turns out. So there's plenty of opportunities there as well. Vocational training. From time to time, we find good people who are taking their own initiatives and pushing. So someone like Marie, for instance, she was already trying to learn about baking, and so we helped her with a training course, and now she's starting to sell and make some money for the family and for inevitably for the school as well. Business loans. This is riskier, of course, but we've had some good results with this. One lady was started a money transfer business, and that's gone well. We've just started another shop, and that seems to be going well as well, although that's earlier days. And there's others that want to start small farms and things like that. And then if there's any teachers that are listening to this, they would love to welcome you and invite you into any of their schools to be with their kids and to teach them all what you know. Thank you very much for listening. Thank you for your support and your prayers. We really appreciate it, but our Liberian friends really do appreciate it all. Thank you.